Hi folks, thanks very much for tuning back in to the Blogging Goth. I am Tim Sinister, your host. Just want to thank everyone who's returned after the January video we published. Had a massive subscriber bump. More than 40 people have now subscribed to the Blogging Goth on YouTube. So to all of you who've joined us new, thank you very much. Very grateful to have you with us and hope to continue keeping your attention with brand new content. This is always my opportunity as well to remind you that I do have a Patreon. I intend to use it to honour supporters with their name in the credits of every video. So if you want to perhaps have your band promoted on one of my videos, please just consider subscribing to my Patreon and let me know what name I should use in the credits. And it will be my pleasure to reward you for supporting me to pay site fees and all the admin costs that go with running the Blogging Goth. You'll also have the opportunity to have direct dialogue with me. I intend to run polls on future content for videos. I'll be looking at your comments really closely to help shape future topics to cover in the videos. So please do consider supporting me. Thanks very much. To those of you joined in on the comments as well, thanks very much. Great to hear from you. Hello to John as well, who suggested that I look at the two recent publications on the Sisters of Mercy, Waiting for Another War and Paint My Name in Black and Gold. I have both books on my bedside table. I've not yet got to the end of Waiting for Another War and haven't yet started Paint My Name in Black and Gold. So a comparison between the two is going to have to wait. But I strongly suggest people check out the blog article written by Nicholas van Lagertia? I will put a link to it. Nicholas runs a fantastic Sisters of Mercy blog, and he interviewed both of the authors of these two books, and they discussed their writing process and all of that. It's a great read, and I will link to it in the comments below. And I strongly suggest, if you're a Sisters fan, such as myself, you go and check this blog out. It's great kind of behind-the-scenes writing of these two really key, really critical texts on the formation of the Sisters of Mercy. So, until I get the chance to review these books, I consider you should go out and check out this blog. One headline that broke whilst I was making the January edition of my video and didn't have the chance to cover in any detail was, of course, Nick Cage announcing that now that he has taught his crow how to speak, he considers himself a goth. Okay, fair enough. We all had a very good laugh at that. But I did see a few comments observing that we were not as fair on Nick Cage as we have been on somebody like Kim Kardashian, who we've always met with a lot of hostility whenever she pops up in an article promoting her as the new goth superstar because she's worn a black bustier or something. And it's a legitimate observation, definitely. Nick Cage's announcement was met with a lot of very light-hearted amusement, even a little bit of kind of awe and respect, whereas we never kind of render that kind of judgment on Kim Kardashian, Megan Fox, or any of these fashion stars that the media would like us to believe are the new wave of goth style. So I was weighing this up, and I think there are a few factors that make it different for Nick than it was for Kim. Nick has great precedence for being a bit strange, coming out with bizarre announcements or pulling strange stunts. So it's a lot easier to kind of laugh at him, even if this latest one might have been geared towards promoting his next project. I don't know. Conversely, there's nothing strange about Kim Kardashian. She is a fully trained media creature, and everything is geared towards maximising her presence in the media. And it's always usually at the cost of the goth scene. Seeing her turn up under another headline extolling her virtue as a goth superstar is depressing and annoying. So I think that's why there's a lot more hostile reception for the Megan Foxes of this world when they turn up under one of those headlines, and why we didn't go as hard on Nick Cage, who is not really appearing to steal anything from us or bring any of our scene into a question of legitimacy. So it might seem unfairly balanced, but the reality is one person is just being amusingly odd, another person is engaging in a concerted campaign to brand themselves on this cutting-edge gothcore style, which is just really an insult to everything we're into. And that's why there was such hostility. I hope you think that's fair, but do let me know in the comments if you agree or not. February is a great month for anniversaries as well, so I didn't want to let this opportunity pass by without pointing out a few key events that occurred during this month. The Depeche Mode single Enjoy the Silence, released February 5th, 1989. Blood Flowers by The Cure, released February 15th, 2000. First ever Sisters of Mercy gig, February 16th, 1981. And of course, the Damned's debut album, Damned, 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 released February 18th, 1977. Probably also the first ever full-length album by a punk band. So really kind of key critical events. And I also love the fact that you can still see the Damned playing, notwithstanding pandemics and other various worldwide crises. You can still see that band playing around the world, and I love that. I think it's a testament to the kind of strength and endurance of an alternative subculture. Punk may be dead, that could be a debate for a future time, but sufficient punk bands still continue to fly the flag, and obviously the Damned definitely have one foot in our world as well, having headlined UK Goth Weekend, and Dave Vanian being such a style guru to so many of us, that it really is just, it's just so important that we have the Damned still with us. So I hope you celebrate it and span Damned for your own enjoyment. One exciting cultural development has been the opening of the Goth Designing Darkness exhibition at the Den Bosch Museum in the Netherlands. It's running until the 18th of April this year, and it's apparently encompassing 2 centuries of dark history, art, culture, literature and architecture. It does look like a fantastic exhibition, and of even more interest was the decision to run a panel discussion of Goth, featuring many people I am pleased to know. Here in the real world, as in people I've actually physically met, Professor Catherine Spooner and Mel Butler. Plus I got to see some online friends such as Professor Nick Groom, Danny and Trey from Cemetery Confessions, and Lisa from the Museum of Youth Culture right here in London, who I've worked with before. And you can find articles on the Museum of Youth Culture on the blog. It was a great panel discussion, and it went on for quite a while. It was a good couple of hours, streamed live on YouTube. I believe you can go and catch it at any time yourself, so you can enjoy it. I did feel it was a little heavy on the theory, but that's kind of expected, as we had a lot of very trained and educated people who are very enmeshed in the history of Goth the subculture and Gothic the cultural movement. So perhaps it was not as accessible to the lay consumer, but nonetheless it was a thoroughly enjoyable and engaging discussion, and it was great to see so many people I know up there talking with passion about the things that I care about so much. Really, it was any Goth YouTuber's dream to be on a panel talking to so many people all at once about it. Because Mel is a close friend and plays bass in the band I sing in, the Scarlet Hour, we thought it would be a great idea to kind of spin that conversation off further, and me and her are going to sit down and just have a kind of one-to-one discussion about Goth, past, present and future. And we would really kind of invite you to post in the comments or even through my Patreon some questions you would like answered or considered, and we will consider as many as we can, and that will be a future standalone video from the Blogging Goth. So I hope you'll tune in and enjoy that at some point. I do have form though, as once again I've been on another podcast. Truly am advancing into my middle-aged white man prime, as I did appear on the Necropolis Metal podcast along with metal blogger Charles, neoclassical musician Jason of Lone Goat, Gothic promoter and revolutionary romantic musician Joel, and my good self as the Blogging Goth. It was supposed to be a kind of discussion of the crossovers between goth metal and a kind of introduction for people who are into the metal subculture and might be curious about goth. And I also feel like we may have gotten a bit off topic and really gotten stuck in to some of the intricacies and complexities and debatable points of goth. And I don't know, again, how accessible that was to newcomers to goth. Again, I'll pop a link under this video, and I would really invite people to have a listen and see what they thought. And, of course, let me know, because that will help shape my talking to other people in the future, including the media. And I want to get it right, I want it to be accurate, and I want it to be representative. So if you can listen to me talking, tell me where I might be going wrong, or point out things I might be missing, that'd be really helpful, better for the scene as a whole. But many thanks to Hessian Firm, who run the Necropolis Metal podcast, and Charles and Jason, who invited me to join them, and Joel for just being damn good at somebody to talk to about goth. That was a pleasure, and I look forward to many more in the future. Just want to take a look ahead as well to events that are coming up in March, and right at the top of the list it is Carpe Noctem in Leeds, the finest goth night in the north. They are always the destination of choice for bands as well, and they're absolutely pulling no punches on Saturday the 5th with West Wickhams, who are a psych garage noir duo from Sicily, which sounds very intriguing. They're supporting The Web, who are a kind of Susie but on acid, kind of really crazy theatrical goth synth sound, and headlining Saturday is unbelievably the Resurrected Ghost Dance with Anne-Marie Hurst. No Gary Marks, understandably. He's taken a backseat to music these days, but a Resurrected Ghost Dance sounds like an incredible draw, and I am really hopeful I'll be able to make it. And I would strongly recommend it to you. That's Carpe Noctem in Leeds on Saturday the 5th of March. And that's all backed up with, of course, very request-friendly DJs, HGV and Misrule, who have been long-standing goth DJs and have previously DJed festivals like Tomorrow's Ghosts and Infest. So once the bands are over, stick around until the small hours dancing to classics and brand new breaking goth music. And on Saturday the 26th of March in Leeds, you can go to Kirkgate Market on Vicar Street and enjoy the Leeds Alternative Market from the organisers of the Leeds Festival of Gothica. The organisers invite you to delve into the bazaar of dark antiquities, gothic fashion, vintage, craft, horror and much, much more. It's a marketplace for the outcasts, unusual and darkly inclined. You're welcome to explore and discover a series of trinkets and treasures from an array of independent traders, local artists and companies. Just want to revisit another one of the comments under my last video, the Bone Tree. It drives them nuts how much the music is overlooked and despair at how much goth is now a fashion. It's a familiar story and, forgive the pun, it's quite a hot topic. This debate between the legitimacy of appearing goth and listening to goth. Can you have one without the other? Is one more important than the other? It's controversial, but I do think you aren't going to get far in the goth subculture without knowing the bands that make up the history of this scene. There is obviously a disconnect in that so many classic goth bands will not actually identify themselves as goth, and that's a topic for another video, definitely. But I just can't see the point in only hijacking the fashion and looking that way. Just leaves yourself open to criticism from other people who are deeply enamoured with this subculture and who consider it so vital to know the soundtrack to it all. And I do agree with them. I definitely do think you need to understand and appreciate the music that really is part of the genesis of the goth subculture. But we will touch on that in future videos, and as always, thanks so much for your comments. I look forward to hearing what you think underneath this video, and I will see you all again very soon.